Hi everybody, welcome to CC Makes podcast number 5. No coffee today. It's lunch beers, guys. Lunch beers. Well, lunch beer. One lunch beer. Welcome back. Welcome to the CC Makes podcast. A lot's happened in the last few weeks. Anyway, you can find me here on YouTube, on Instagram, CC_makes, Ravelry, CC Makes, but still haven't updated that, so don't follow me there yet. Most active on Instagram, if at all. I mean, I don't post tons on there. I'll post a random photo every once in a while when I remember. What else? Taryn's not here. Sad. She was well, I wanted her to be here for the last podcast that she would do before she moved, but it just didn't happen. Talk about that more later. Anyway, coming to you from a cloudy, kind of rainy, light rain, overcast, chilly day here in coastal Washington. Kind of upset with the weather. It's been so nice the last week or so that I'm not ready for rain again at all. And I think we're supposed to get a cold snap this weekend. Oh well. So, anyways, we'll get right into it. I have some finished objects, not a lot, and some works in progress, kind of a lot, maybe, some new yarn goodies, and other stuff that I would like to cast on that I might as well show you. So, let's get on to it. Cheers. First finished object. I don't know if I showed this the last time or not, but I might have. I just haven't sent it off yet. This is for my niece, my youngest niece, Maya. It'll fit her little noggin. I think it's cute. That little Pom Pom is super cute. I can't remember where I got this Pom Pom, but I know it was off of Etsy. I think I just did a random search for Faux Fur Pom Pom, and I like this one because it's got like kind of black on the tips. I thought it was cute. Anyway, everyday slouchy beanie, but not. I didn't follow the pattern completely because it's for, how old is she? For a 1-year-old. So I didn't make it slouchy, and I didn't increase where she said to increase. I did do her brim, which I really like because it's the double brim, fold over brim. But I like it, and it will keep my little niece's noggin warm in Alaska. So there's that. And that was, I mentioned before, but for those of you that didn't watch, that's Knit Crate's yarn. I subscribed to Knit Crate. This was from a while back. Don't know the name of it, don't know who it's by, but I know it was Knit Crate, and I really like it. And I like how it pooled. So there's that. One finished object. Next one is socks. I finished these, I want to say right after we got back from Georgia, from the wedding. My tension was all over the place because I was knitting on the airplane, and I hate flying, and I get nervous about flying, and it's uncomfortable. And anyways, stress knitting, my tension kind of got a little crazy. I didn't do 2 at a time, but I knit on one when I flew to Georgia, and then one on the way back. So the tension kind of got wonky in the same spots. It's a little baggy right there, but I mean, they're fine. They'll fit fine. Not too worried. yeah, the flight there, like we leave from Portland and we have to drive 2 hours to get to Portland, and then we get on an airplane, and there was no direct flight over to Georgia, to Savannah. So we had to go land in Seattle, change planes. We met my mom and my sister in Seattle. We all got on the same plane to, we actually flew into Charleston. Oh, Charleston. We flew into Charleston, rented a car, and then I just drove us down to Savannah from there, because it's a lot cheaper to fly into Charleston, in case you were wondering. I don't know why it's so expensive to get into Savannah, but it would have been great if we could have just flown right in there. However, it was a long trip. It was a lot of traveling. Got some socks out of it. I almost used, this is my yarn. This is Skate Night. It's like, this is all I have left. Little mini skate, it's so cute. It's got like the neon colors. And throughout this episode, you will see that I am very into neon colors right now. That's all I want to knit with. I don't know why. Not my color palette at all, for myself, but I'm not knitting for myself, except for socks, which I will wear any color socks. So, but yeah. There is still a skein of this left in the shop, if you're interested. I forgot to mention, you can also find my shop on Etsy, CC Fiber and Design. On there is some yarn and stuff in there that you can peruse. There's some project bags too. Anyway, that's all I have left of that. Could have made those socks longer, but the last pair of socks that I made, I think it was a blueberry waffle pattern. I did a really long cuff on that, and it was too long. These, I wear, they're little extra tough rain boots. They're like ankle, they go up to your ankle. But I wear those almost 100% of the time. Once in a while I'll throw on a sneaker. Not very often though. But I wear those all the time here because it's just rainy and wet, and when you walk the beach, there's little, little streams of water that you gotta cross. So I wear those all the time. And this is like the perfect, because I slouch them down a little bit to go over my jeans. This is the perfect length for me. So it leaves about 30 grams of leftover yarn, which is great because I can either stick it into a scrappy project or, whatever. So yeah, ramble. Next finished object. I'm not wearing this today, but I finished it. I can't stand up to show you, but this is my Autumn League pullover. And it is finally done. I really like it. I messed up right here. Somehow, I guess, I don't know, wasn't paying attention, added way too many increases when I shouldn't have, front and back. I was doing this sweater while my mom and my sister were here. Probably too many cocktails in the evening. Didn't pay attention to the pattern. Was too busy visiting and chatting. Yeah, so when I wear it, it like bunches up right here and it sticks out right here and in the back. But I was not gonna rip it back and fix it because this sweater was the sweater that never ended, ever. It just kept on going. I don't know why it was so hard for me to do. Maybe because it was cotton. I'm not a fan of knitting with cotton. I love to wear this. I love the fabric that it made. It's just like a sweatshirt. It feels like a sweatshirt. I don't know. I just didn't want to knit back, or rip back, so I didn't, and now I have to live with my mistake. Wah, wah, wah. But I'm still gonna wear it. I still wear it. I really just wanted this sweater for having around the house. Like I said, it's chilly in our house. I've mentioned that before. Our house is super old. It's cold. This is cotton, so it's not gonna be like super warm, but I just throw it on over, t-shirts, pajama pants. This is my go-to. I washed and dried it. I shrunk it. And now there's a little thingy sticking up. I don't know if you can see that. Oops. I'm gonna weave that back in. I washed and dried it because the originally when I knit it and finished it, I was just gonna wash it and lay it flat to dry. But it was pretty big. Like, I knit the biggest size there was in the pattern. I don't know why I did that, but I just wanted it oversized. So I knit the big one. And it was huge. Like, it was really big. So I washed it, put it in the dryer, not for a full cycle, but long enough to get it like dampish dry, and it shrunk it down to, you know, like a perfect sweatshirt to wear on a day that you're stuck at home or sitting at home, and it worked out. I don't know if I'll knit that pattern again anytime soon. That is the Two of Wands pattern, Autumn League pullover. It's a free pattern, and it's knit flat, and then you seam all, you know, the sides and the sleeves. You seam all that, and I've never done a sweater like that before, so I feel like I'm shrinking. Oh well, I'll sit up straight. Anyway, you seam up the sides, and you just knit flat. You knit and you purl and whatever. And I think it was okay because I don't purl, I knit backwards. I prefer to do it that way just because I don't like purling that often. I don't know what it is. Like, if I'm dying. If I am watching TV or chatting or whatever, I have to look at my purls when I'm, you know, knitting that. So if I do it backwards, I can do it all by feeling it. So I prefer to knit backwards. So that wasn't an issue. It was just that it just was, I don't know, the sweater that never ended, and I didn't want to work on it anymore, but I made myself finish it. So my plan was to knit that pattern again with this yarn. Oh, it's upside down. Taki yarn. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this yarn, super squishy, and love it. It's like a very woolly, it's just classic superwash, 100% superwash wool. I wanted to knit it again using this yarn, but now I'm not sure that I will. I kind of either want to do, what is going on here? That's from wearing a hoodie. Oh well. What was I saying? Oh, not gonna knit that pattern. I think what I'm going to do is either knit the Weekender or the no frills sweater patterns. Either one of those, I'm not sure which, but I think I'll go with one of those. And if I do knit this pattern ever again, I will modify it to be knit in the round instead of flat. I think that's where I kind of lost a lot of steam, was I wasn't seeing any progress. I was just knitting, and it just, there was no structure to it at all. It was hard to try on because it didn't have seams. So it was an experience. I will, if I knit it again, like I said, knit it in the round. I looked on Ravelry at a bunch of the project pages for that pattern, and a lot of, I want to say most of the, you know, notes were that people modified it to knit in the round, which I should have done, but it is what it is. So I would like to cake this up, get this cast on for myself. This isn't like a color that I really want to wear, but I have the yarn. So, oh, and on that sweater, I think I bought 8 skeins, and like I said, I knit the biggest size. What is that over there? Is that? Anyway, I knit the biggest size, which I think is an extra large in the pattern, and I think it said, I don't have it in front of me, 8 skeins of this cotton Lion brand. I don't know the name of it either. Anyway, cotton Lion brand yarn. This is all I have left. And I wouldn't have had enough, I don't think, because I did it the measurements to my body, like where I wanted the seams to stop, or not seam, the hems to stop. So I have a shorter torso, so I didn't knit it like to the pattern measurements. And if I did, I wouldn't have had enough. But I don't gauge swatch, so that could be why. But oh well, I probably will never gauge swatch. I'll just be a rebel and, you know, just cast it on and keep going. But I can also see this, not just in those two, Weekender and No Frills, but I could also see a, what is that pattern? I don't know who it's by. Oh, this smells good. But it's the Humulus sweater pattern. I really like that pattern. I could see this like with like a natural in the same type of yarn, same brand, like a natural. Maybe I'd wear it then. I mean, I'm not saying I won't wear this color. It's just not like, this is bright for me. This isn't my sweater. This is my daughter's. But it's laundry day at our house. But we'll see. I mean, I might just fall in love with it once I finish a sweater someday and wear it all the time. I don't know. We'll see. But that is all my finished objects. Why are people texting me constantly? I have to use my phone now to record because Tara moved and she took her fancy dancy camera with her, and I'm too cheap to purchase extravagant equipment for a podcast. I think my phone does perfectly fine. As far as I know, you all can hear me. If you can't hear me, or if I'm too loud or too, you know, whatever, let me know so I can adjust when I edit. Like, I can fix the sound quality and stuff. So, I mean, let me know if I'm too loud, if I'm too quiet, if you can't hear me, that kind of stuff. Next I have whips. What do I want to show first? Let's do this one. I showed this before and I haven't picked it up since. I'm just over it. I do this a lot. I cast on all the things and I never want to finish them. That's okay. This little sweater for my niece, probably nieces, they're about the same size. Using my yarn, I just faded in two different colors. I don't know, not in love with it, but I think I'm just over knitting fingering weight sweaters for them. That's all I've knit them so far. And I'm just over the fingering weight in general right now. Like, I don't even want to do socks. I'm over it. I want to do sweaters and shawls and I don't know. But I'm going to rip this out because look at all my markers. Because I lost where I was in the pattern, and I don't even want to think about where I was. So I'm gonna rip it out, just knit it straight, and then do like a balloon cuff on the end. I think that'll be cute, and they won't care. By the way, this is the So Faded Pint Size pattern by Andrea Mowry. The only modification that I'm doing is leaving off the purl bumps. I'm not doing those. And then of course I'm not decreasing on the sleeves. So I just need to finish this. I just don't want to do it. But maybe by the next podcast you will see this finished. I don't know yet. I feel like I'm getting smaller and smaller and smaller in this chair. Maybe I should fix the tripod. That's a lot of work. I'll sit on a pillow. Be right back. Haha! We fixed the problem. Wait, now I'm crooked. Okay. So next, work in progress, I have. Oh, I forgot. I do have another finished object, but it's not knitting. It's sewing. I made myself a bag to hold my shawl that I'm knitting that you'll see in a minute. Just basic, you know, fits a shawl, fits two skeins. you know, bag. Taryn took my sewing machine. Well, she says it was never my sewing machine to begin with, even though I bought it for her, but actually I didn't buy it for her. I bought it. She claimed it. She made a bunch of bags. But I went and bought a new one for myself, and I only made one thing, and I only took it out just to test out the machine and ended up making a bag. So I'm gonna try to do some more bags this weekend. I have labels. I haven't just pushed the button to order it yet, but I have them all picked out and ready to, with my, you know, name, my logo and everything on it, but just haven't done it. But there will be a sewn in label on my bags very soon. But I just needed something to hold my shawl. I have other bags in my stash right now, but either they're full or they're too big, they're not big enough. So this one's perfect for a shawl. That is my finished objects now. So next I have the same So Faded Pint size pattern on this sweater. It's just knit with DK weight instead of fingering weight, and I am in love with the DK weight right now. This is my hand-dyed yarn. This is in the colorway Sweet Moves. Sweet Moves, man. It's like super neon, super bright, and that's all that I want in it right now is bright colors. When I started this, I was alternating skeins, and it was, you know, just, it looked like how it would on here. Like it was just all nice, no pooling, whatever. But I messed up somewhere, and then I ripped it out, and then I didn't alternate, and this happened, and now I really like this better, and so does my daughter. This is for Brooklyn, and she likes this. She likes it just the way it is. She thinks it looks like a zebra. So do I. So it kind of reminds me of that, remember that bubble gum? I remember it from when I was a kid. It was really fruity, and it had a zebra on it. It was like stripe, I don't know, something stripe. I don't remember the name of it, but it was super delicious, and the taste lasted like 2.5 seconds before it was disgusting. Anyway, that's what it reminds me of. And this, like I said, it's on my yarn, and also, and when it's caked up and when it's in the skein, this DK base, it feels like wool, but when you knit with it, like the fabric, it doesn't feel like wool to me. It feels like this cotton sweater. It feels super, it's just soft, like it's a sweatshirt feel. I don't know. I really like it, and it's gonna be durable for my kid. Like she's probably gonna wear this once, and I'm gonna end up having to send it to my nieces because Brooklyn's not knit worthy. Like unless it's a hat, she's not gonna wear it. She's super picky about her clothes. Like they have to fit her perfectly or her day is shot. She will be grouchy, and so this will probably end up going to my niece too, but it is what it is. I'm gonna try to knit it for her in the meantime, see if she wears it. I don't know, because when this kid comes home from school, the first thing she does before she even takes her jacket off is takes her pants off. She hates anything that is constricting her body. It makes her grouchy, and so do I. I don't wear tight stuff ever. And if my jeans are too tight, I just unbutton them. And let's see here. The next thing that I have is this shawl, and I just started this week. My kids are in baseball, so or one's in baseball and one is in softball, and I take this with me in the car and I knit on it then, and I got pretty far. This is the Dark Phoenix by Tamy Gore, and I didn't print this in color because I'm cheap, but I'll show you the cover of the, did I say the cover of the pattern? Dark Phoenix, Tamy Gore, paid for pattern on Ravelry. She used, I want to say 10 minis skeins in her pattern, and I wish I would have done that. Like I have some minis that I could have, you know, put into this pattern, but I didn't. I just get lazy get lazy switching yarn and weaving it in and whatever. So I used one skein so far, not one skein so far, but I'm using just one color. I'm not switching colors. I was going to put in this color, this variegated color. This is by Hue Loco. It was part of a mystery bag shipment that I did last summer. So I don't know the name of it, but it's got the same colors in here as it does in here. But I didn't do it on this shawl. I'm just gonna continue with this. This is my yarn. It's fingering weight too. I'm not, like I said, I'm over fingering weight, but when it's in a shawl, like it's different. It knits up different and it feels a lot different. So I'm okay with it and it's not making me mad. I really like this pattern because it has little brioche sections, and I've never done brioche before. It used to intimidate me. Like I just never tried to do it. I would watch a few videos and then turn it off and never try it. I don't know why I did that, because I really like brioche and it's super easy to do. So kicking myself for not doing it sooner, but there we have it, folks. A shawl. And I don't know if I'm going to keep the shawl or give it to my mom. I knit my mom a shawl not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before. Just a one skein, one color shawl. I think it was like a shawlette. And knit it for her. She loved it. She wore it all the time. And then recently she's been out of town. She hasn't been home gosh, for a month or so now, I want to say. I don't know. She's been gone for a while. And Kaylin, my 3-year-old niece, decided she would like to wear it. So she stole my mom's shawl and she wears it. It's cold in Alaska. There's snow. And so she wraps it around her little neck and she, you know, goes about her business outside, which I think is super cute. But she stole my mom's shawl. So I might give that to my mom. Haven't decided yet. I don't know if she'll like those colors or not. I like those colors. It's like gold and rust, and I don't know. I just like those colors. So might do that. We shall see. And I talked about brioche and that I've mentioned this before in an episode where I have these two Brooklyn tweed I want to say loft, I don't know, yarns that I was gonna do a brioche hat in. And I was gonna do the Andrea Mowry vintage prim, but now, should have did that. But now, hairy eyebrows. Now I'm going to do the Harlow hat. I think it'll just, I don't know. I don't really wear hats, but I want to do the Harlow hat for my husband. I think he would really like it, and this will be nice and warm. Not that he needs it because he works in the Middle East, but I don't know. Does it get cold there? I don't know. It gets cold here. So when he happens to live with us for, you know, a couple weeks out of each year, he can wear his hat. And I'll be happy with that. So I would like to just knit that pattern. So I will be casting that on, I think, very soon. I kind of just want to cast on all the things right now, and you'll see why. I got some new yarn. So I went to, when my mom and my sister were here, we went to, right across the street is a little bookstore, a local bookstore, and not a big box bookstore by any means. It's just a little shop, a little local, super cute bookstore. And we went there, and then I went to the yarn shop, which is right next door. So of course I had to get some yarn. I went there to get this. I went to the yarn store to specifically get yarn for my niece for a new sweater that wasn't wool, or just something easy to take care of. Apparently superwash is not easy enough for my sister to wash, so I got this. This is Ella Ray yarn. I don't know. I've never heard of it. But I was chatting with the lady that runs the store or owns the store, and she said she's knit I think her son's some sweaters or I don't know, some stuff out of this yarn, and she's washed and dried it, and it wears well, it holds up well, so I was sold. This is 75% acrylic and 25% wool. And I'm not like super against acrylic. I used to crochet with it all the time. It's just now my preference is wool. I like wool, but this is definitely going to be super easy for my sister to not ruin. I hope. I don't know. But it's a DK weight. It's kind of like a dark pastel color. It's cute. It's pretty. They'll wear it. I mean, you can never have enough sweaters when you live in Alaska, right? They're probably gonna get these 2 sweaters that are already right here. That one for sure, because it's knit to their size. But they'll have a box full of sweaters and hats coming soon. How great is that? I mean, why not? And then when I was paying for that, this jumped on the counter when I was paying. Lola Bean Yarn Co. This is her fingering weight bean sprout base 80/20. The color is Electric Youth, and guys, this is my jam right now. I love all these colors. This is just all that I want to knit with lately is neon colors, and I like this because it's not like all neon like the stuff that I have. This is just like pops of neon on a natural base. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. My daughter wants a pair of socks, but she's not worthy. So she's not worthy of socks. So I don't think I'll do that for her. I kind of want to see if I could get this like in a shawl. Not like super bright shawl because it's just like little pops of neons, but or just speckled neons, but I would like maybe pair it with like, I don't know, a black even, and do like some sort of brioche. I'm all about the brioche now, guys. Come on. So maybe some brioche kind of shawl thing. I think that would look really cool. But we will see. That's not kicked up or anything, and I'm gonna leave it like that until I have a decision on what I'm going to make. What else do I have? So I was stash diving. Night before. And I was going through, I found some Hue Loco yarn that I have. I have another skein, just, you know, this mystery bag. I have another skein of it in a different colorway. But these 2 colors, this kind of matches, well, it matches the shawl that I'm working on now. This totally goes together. Could have did a fade somehow, but didn't. Anyways, I have these other colors in my stash that I want to do something with because I'm not making socks. I'm over socks at this point. I want to do shawls for some reason. I don't know. But I like that these, not so much this one, but mainly these ones go together. Like this one has all these different blue color, not all different. There's like a light blue and a little bit of dark blue. And then there's some cranberry color, some pink, browns, yellows. It goes with this blue, it goes with this berry, and it goes with this dark blue. I don't know what I'm going to make. I can't even hold them all. What I'm going to make, I could see a shawl. Even this one goes, even this. Guys, help me out. Give me suggestions. What should I make with these? I know it's going to be a shawl at some point, but I just don't know which pattern. I need to look for a pattern on Ravelry. I just always get sidetracked when I get on Ravelry. I get on there for something that I'm looking for specifically, and I go down a rabbit hole. So that is my plan. I just don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I just found all those that, you know, those colors all went together to the Hue Loco, and then one is a knit crate, and then to our mine. I want to cast on, like I said, that sweater with the talkie yarn. But I also came across this pattern on Instagram the other day. It is by Lady J Crochet, and this is not knit, it's a crochet sweater. And I really like it. I'm going to show you on my iPad because why not? It's this sweater. It'll be perfect for summer. I mean, look, like this photo, she just threw a tank underneath it. I think that's super cool. And I mean, it'll be easy. I mean, I can crochet like nobody's business. So I'm excited to do that. And I have just some cheap cotton yarn, but it's blue. So what I'm going to do, this is plans for later on, obviously not going to happen anytime soon, but I'm going to over dye this, obviously not with acid dyes, but maybe some, I don't know, whew, it's dusty. This has traveled all the way from Georgia with me, and it sat in storage for 2 years, and now it's sitting on my shelf. So now I'm going to make a plan to use this. I have 2 of these. I don't even know why I had them. I don't know what I was gonna do with them, but anyway, gonna over dye it, maybe with that RIT dye stuff. I don't know. I've never used that before, but gotta work, right? They use it for cotton all the time. So I'm going to make that sweater for this summer for myself. I don't know what color I can get with that. I don't know how cotton dyes. I can crochet with cotton because it's not like, I don't know, it's just different than knitting. So I'm not worried about, you know, touching or ripping up my hands with that. So anyway, where was I going? I don't know what color I'm gonna do. I'm obviously gonna do a darker color, maybe go over with black. I don't think it will turn black, but I've never dyed cotton before, so I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise. So that is my plans for my yarn. I forgot I have a sock still. I've shown it before, but I'll show it again. Whatever. That I haven't finished. Yeah. Just over socks. I'm so over them. I'm just gonna leave that in there because I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at any more socks. I have enough socks, and I'll pick it up someday, just not now. Next, when my mom was here, like I said, we went to the bookstore first. My sister, how old is my sister? I think she's gonna be 25. She's the baby. She works at the school library in our hometown, back there in Alaska, and so she works there. I think it's just part-time, but she's a book nerd. Her apartment her house is just full of bookshelves full of books. And so she was all excited to go there. I was excited to go to the yarn store, but I went to the bookstore first with her, and every book that my mom and I were looking at, she knew, she read it. She's like, oh, I have that one. That's a good book, and da 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 da. So I found a book that she hasn't read yet, and I've been wanting to read because I've seen it all over Instagram. I've seen Indie Dyers dye yarn according to whatever, to something in this book. I don't know. I haven't read it. I have no idea. But they have colorways from this book. A Court of Thorns and Roses. I am going to read this because there's so much hype about this book, and my sister said, and there's a bunch, 4? I think there's 4. Yeah. In the series, and she said she hasn't read it. What? And she heard it was really good too. So I'm thinking, and it's like a young adult, I want to say. Do books say if they're young adult? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a young adult book, but I'm gonna read it, and if I like it and it's appropriate, I'm going to give it to my 12-year-old Emma to read. I don't know if it's appropriate or not, so we'll see. That'll be a surprise. But from the looks of like what it's all about, this is right up her alley, like magical stuff. Like she likes all that. And for a kid that does not like to read, she has been reading books like crazy. So we'll see if I get this finished anytime soon. I usually read at night, but like I said, my husband's gone, so Brooklyn has been in my bed each night, and by the time that I go to bed, which is not late, I go to bed at like 9:30 and I'm out. So I don't read because I just crash. I'm so tired lately. Like, look, I have no idea why either, and I don't know why my freckles are coming out. There's no sun. But I plan on starting this weekend. We'll see how far I get. I have nothing else to watch on TV. I've caught up on all my shows. I've caught up on all podcasts. I can't find any new podcasts because I don't know what I'm searching for, and then I go down the rabbit hole and I get sucked into watching something else on there, like funny cats. I don't know. I watch all kinds of stuff on there, and haven't found any. So drop some podcast suggestions, maybe Netflix, maybe Hulu, anything. Give me something to watch. I've watched everything lately. I've even watched reality TV smut, and I don't know. I need something. I need something else. Hand me some suggestions. So there's that. Shop updates. I'll move into that. I know I said I was going to do a shop update. It should have been done by now, but it has not been done. I'm going to place the order this weekend for the yarn and hopefully get it by next week. Our mail, like stuff that I just ordered, I have some subscriptions on Amazon, and they were supposed to be here like on Monday of this week, and they're still not here. It just says sorry for the delay. So I guess with this whole virus thing, everything's, out of whack. So hopefully if I order it this weekend, I'll get it by next week. And if I do get it by next week, I will spend all weekend dyeing the yarn, and then do a shop update. I'm going to order DK weight, of course, because I'm in love with it, and I really like the fabric that it makes with this base. So I'm going to do that, and it's just 100% superwash wool. It feels, I love it. But I want to do sweater quantities this time and just a few colorways. I'm going to, pick a couple of my colorways and just dye a bunch of, maybe five of those colorways, and then just spread it out over the skeins of yarn that I do. I'm going to do a bigger order of yarn this time, of DK and of sock weight. I feel like those are just the most popular. I do want to do worsted because I want to knit that Humulus sweater, and I know that's worsted, so I might sneak in a couple. I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so if I do that, get it, dye it next weekend, I'll do a shop update the following week. So, I mean, that's about it. I'm going to sew some bags. Well, I'm not going to sew them. I'm going to cut them all out and get them ready and wait for my labels to come in. And then I'll sew them all up and add them with that next shop update that I do. I'm 12. So yeah, that's my plan. We will see what comes of it. Life stuff, as everybody knows, well aware of, this coronavirus is throwing everything out of sorts. As of right now, my kids are still in school. Their school hasn't closed. The virus is not in our county yet, and I hope it doesn't, but clearly it's going to be inevitable. So like just right across the bridge from us is Oregon. Oregon's shut down all of their schools. North of us is like Seattle, King County, all that. I think Pierce, I don't know all the counties, but everything's shut down. The schools are closed. So if that happens here, pray for me, because my children will be home with me. And it's not that I don't want them home. I want them home, of course. I mean, I don't want them to catch any illness at all, especially Brooklyn, because she has asthma and some respiratory issues. So hopefully, I'm kind of hoping that they honestly do close schools just to be on the safe side. I mean, why not? Everybody else is closing schools, whatever. But we will see if that happens. We won't have baseball practice, so I will have more time to sit at home. There's fiber everywhere. Sit at home and knit, which sounds great because I'm an introvert anyways, and I don't go anywhere, and I try not to go anywhere. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and there was no toilet paper. So I had to come home and order toilet paper online and pay the tax because I live in Washington. And if I just go to the grocery store in Oregon, I get out of paying sales tax. But they're out, and I wasn't going to go to every store and over there just to find toilet paper. I mean, we have toilet paper, but I keep an extra on hand just because we're all girls, and you know, I won't get into that, but it's just nice to have extra stuff around, and there is no extra stuff. There's plenty of bottled water though, plenty of that, but I have a lot of that, so I don't know. I do need to go to the liquor store in case this whole town shuts down though. Need to be prepared for self-quarantine. Priorities. So yeah, so that's throwing everything out of whack. If that happens, I'm prepared to sit at home and just knit my little heart out. What other life stuff is there? Oh, Taryn and Michael got married. They were married February 23rd. We flew over to Georgia for the wedding. It was a beautiful wedding. It was the best wedding I've ever been to. For what seemed like chaos leading up to that, like everything that could have went wrong did go wrong leading up to the wedding. But it was a beautiful wedding. It was just beautiful. I'll pop a photo in of my little family, minus my husband, because he couldn't get here because of the travel issues last month from where he's at. The work visas, like he just couldn't do it, unfortunately, and we were all sad about that. But she got to talk to him on the day of her wedding, and it was actually kind of funny and sad at the same time. She had just finished getting her hair and her makeup all done for the wedding, and then she was texting my husband. That's not her biological dad. He's her stepdad, but he's been in her life since she was, I want to say 4. 4, I think, yeah. So they're close. Got her hair and makeup done, all pretty, all ready to get in her wedding dress, and she was texting him, and she comes back into the room and full on tears, destroyed her makeup. They had to redo it all. Poor kid. But it wasn't too bad. I mean, they kind of, I don't know, they worked magic because they made me look 20 years younger with 20 layers of makeup on my face, but they did their magic. Everything was good. She looked beautiful. She looked like a Barbie. I'll put in a photo, minus her tattoos, which were showing, but my Brooklyn kept calling her Barbie because she looked so pretty. But it was just a beautiful wedding. I'll put a picture in here so you can see. That was chaotic, traveling, getting over there, getting back, because we don't live near an airport. We have to drive to Portland, which is 2 hours away. So our flight was at 6 a.m. Me and the kids, and so we had to leave our house by, I think I left at 1:30 a.m. just to get on the road, get up to Portland, get checked in or whatever. So we left at 1:30 a.m. Almost had a raccoon, pesky raccoons. But I got about, I want to say a half hour away. Realized I forgot my purse. Had to turn all the way around, come back home, grab my purse, hit the road again. But it was fine. We made it in time. We weren't late or anything. We didn't have to wait super long. So that was good. The flights were all good. We met my mom and my sister in Seattle. They got on the next plane, same plane as us, and we all flew to Charleston because it was cheaper than flying into Savannah. So we just flew into Charleston. I rented a car for all of us, drove us down to Savannah, stayed for the weekend, did the wedding, flew back home. So that was that. That was a lot. We were still recovering. My mom and sister came back to Portland with us, drove drove here with us. I think they stayed for a week and a half. They left last Saturday, so they've been gone for like a week now, almost a week. We were busy with them, busy with family, my aunts, you know, just down the road too. So that's my mom's sister. So she was busy visiting. My brother was in town. My cousins came to town. So it was busy. It was fun. It was a lot of family. It was just a good time. And I miss them now because my house is empty and Taryn's gone and I feel abandoned. Usually it's me moving, but now everybody left me. So hopefully Justin comes home, my husband, next month. I don't know. Don't know if they're going to be on like no travel bans, quarantine. I don't know. So that's life stuff now. We're settling down. We're getting back in our routine. We're still super tired. Even my kids are tired. We're so glad it is Friday today. I'm just gonna hang out for the weekend. Not do a damn thing. Nothing at all. So I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go edit this. Sit down and knit for the rest of the day. That's my plan. Maybe make some dinner for my kids. Maybe. I don't know. Might be microwave food. Actually, I better save that in case we are on lockdown. I should probably cook. Okay, so until next time, probably 2 weeks. We'll see.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
And there goes Alexa.
Take a look at the help section.
She always comes on when I podcast. It's very randomly. But anyway. All right. Follow me, Instagram, cc_makes. Check out the shop. There's still some yarn in there. A lot of one of a kind, you know, little batches of yarn. CC Fiber and Design on Etsy. And like and subscribe. I guess that gets your video boosted up there. So, I mean, do that. We all like that. It's getting brighter. I think the sun may come out. Okay, I better stop rambling. You're all probably sick of hearing me. So, until next time. Bye.